In this week's Parshat, the Torah tells that Bnei Israel had just conquered Transjordan. Shevet Reuven, Gad, and Menashe want the land of Transjordan because it's good for grazing. They went to Moshe, Aaron, and the leaders of the Bnei Israel, and they said, "If we found favor in your eyes, please give us the land of Transjordan. Do not cross us the Jordan." As the pasuk says, "Vayomeru, im matzanu chem beinecha, yutan et haaretz hazot la'avadecha le'achuza, al ta'avirenu et ha'Yarden." Moshe got angry and he said, "Your brothers are going to go to war, and you're going to stay here? Your forefathers didn't want to go to war either. Hashem made them walk around the desert for 40 years, and you want to do this? The Bnei Israel are going to see you, and then they're not going to want to fight either. Why should you guys stand out and not fight? You must go and fight." Shevet Reuven, Gad, and Menashe replied that they will go to war, and they will not return to Transjordan until the Bnei Israel are in Israel. And Moshe said, if they do as they said, and they go with Hashem to war, they will be allowed to have the land of Transjordan. I have a question. Why did Moshe get angry and give them that entire speech? Shevet Reuven, Gad, and Menashe didn't say that they didn't want to go to war. They just said that they wanted the land. Why did Moshe have to give that speech? They never said that they didn't want to go to war. The Or HaChaim answers that they went to Moshe and said, "Al ta'avirenu et ha'Yarden." Do not cross us the Jordan, which is unclear. They meant, we don't want land across the Jordan. However, it is understood that Moshe misinterpreted it as, we don't want to fight, so please don't make us cross the Jordan. Therefore, Moshe got angry. What, you don't want to fight? Because the way they said it is unclear. Now, the Or HaChaim says that Moshe said the same thing twice. As the pasuk says, "Vayomer alehem Moshe, im ta'asunu et hadavar hazeh, im techaletzu lifnei Hashem lamilchama." And Moshe said to them, if you do as you said, if you go forth with Hashem to war. Moshe said the same thing twice. If you do as you said, im ta'asunu et hadavar hazeh, and im techaletzu lifnei Hashem lamilchama. And if you go with Hashem to war. Why did he say the same thing twice? He repeated himself. It's in the same pasuk. What's the need? Also, why did he mention Hashem? What was the need to mention Hashem? Obviously, the war is with Hashem. The Or HaChaim answered that Moshe knew that the only reason that they wanted to go to war was so that they could have the land of Transjordan. They didn't want to go because Hashem commanded them to. Why is this necessary? Because soldiers need to fight for Hashem, to take revenge on his enemies, not for their own personal gain. They just wanted the land of Transjordan. They didn't care about Israel. So they said, okay, that's the condition, so we'll go. But Moshe wanted them to be fighting for Hashem. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been successful in the war. So Moshe said, if you do as you said, and fight with Hashem, not for you, you can have the land. As the Rambam says, the intention is to be purely for Hashem. I, however, have a different opinion. I think that the first time that Moshe said it was unclear. There were no details. He just said, if you do as you said. What exactly did he say? So he repeated himself to clarify himself, to make sure that the condition was clear. So that they won't come to him afterwards and say, wait, just to make sure I got this. You wanted us to do this. So Moshe said it so that the information would be 100% clear. In conclusion, we said that Shevet Reuven, Gad, and Menashe wanted land in Transjordan. They went to Moshe and said, please give us Transjordan. Do not cross us the Jordan. Moshe got angry at them and said that they need to go with Hashem to war, and that is not fair if all the Jews go to war and they don't. Shevet Reuven, Gad, and Menashe told Moshe that they'll go to war, and Moshe said that if they do as they said, and go with Hashem to war, they can have Transjordan. We asked why Moshe got upset at them, and if they never said anything about not going to war. The Or HaChaim says that the way that Shevet Reuven, Gad, and Menashe requested was unclear, and Moshe understood it as, we don't want to fight. But they meant, we don't want land there. It was a misunderstanding. Moshe said, if you do as you said, and then he said, if you go with Hashem to war. The Or HaChaim asked why Moshe said the same thing twice. If you do as you said, and if you go with Hashem to war. And he also asked why was mentioning Hashem necessary. He answered in the name of the Rambam that the only reason that Shevet Reuven, Gad, and Menashe wanted to go to war was that they could have Transjordan. And Moshe was telling them that they had to fight for Hashem, not for themselves. I answered that the first time he said it, he was introducing what his point was. The second time was to clarify what the first one meant. If you do as I said, was the introduction, and if you go to war with Hashem, was what he meant, and what he wanted. Shabbat Shalom.